I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. HeyoTeo is here. Hello.
How's it going?
It's going well. Thanks for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Heyo, I am Teao. I am a primarily storytelling VTuber who does horror. I do horror streams and I do storytelling streams, where sometimes I like to get my chat involved in these games that I play that double as storytelling games. And it's all a bit of chaotic fun.
It's kind of like you get them to put in parts of the story as you go, or are these stories that you come up with your own, or what?
It's a mix. Sometimes I will make the game scenario from the ground up, and they will just give me their names. Or we'll do a game like Rimworld where they actually have commands in chat where they can make their characters do things.
Well, that's cool. You really get the chat involved then in something like that.
It's more fun because they all have their own stories, their own personalities, and putting that into maybe a medieval simulation it's always been really fun. We have a lot of stories in my community.
So when did you get started with content creation?
I started when I was 11 years old, actually.
Whoa.
Playing Halo Combat Evolved with my friends.
And were you what were you recording to?
I was using, I believe, Fraps, which is an old way to record videos, where you'd have the little FPS counter on the top left of the screen.
Oh yeah, I remember that. 6.
My first microphone actually was a Guitar Hero 3 microphone.
Oh,
it came with the game.
Yes.
And I would put it in a cup because I didn't have a stand.
Hey, whatever works. My golly, if it, I bet it for you. It was at that time was pretty much amazing.
It was mint. It was amazing.
So do you?
I still have the same cup.
You put it on eBay now. I'll put an autograph on it. Put it on eBay. You'll get rich with that one. Do you still have those recordings somewhere?
I was an idiot as a kid, and my channel was under my real name. So while I have the recordings, they will never be published because I say my real name plenty of times.
Oh, well, at least you can hear them if you wanted to.
I don't sound any different, weirdly enough.
That's the thing. I did some games back in high school. Some boys basketball games for our local cable television. Anybody remember cable television? Yeah, our local cable television channel. And I have one cassette, and I swear to everything, I sound exactly the same as I did 40 some years ago. Like, what? Even the same cadence is the same. I learned nothing over those 40 years.
Yeah, well, I haven't changed whatsoever.
Yeah.
In the decade plus I've been a content creator.
Has it all been fun for you, or in learning situation, or have you taken some time off here and there?
I've been forced to take time off, but overall I've been really pushing it because I love making people laugh. I love making jokes, and I love just stretching my imagination to the screen as much as I can.
So, tell me about this storytelling. Is that something that you got into at an early age?
Yeah, I didn't grow up with TV at all. I'm a farm kid. In fact, I live on the exact same farm that I grew up on right now.
Ah, cool.
We didn't have TV. I had a notebook, so I just started writing.
And what, were you inspired by anything when you come up with this, or did it all come from scratch in your head?
Alternate history, more often than not.
Wow, I kind of like that myself. hint to something that's going on right now.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, and I have a little side project I have going on. Um, so do you check out all those alternate history websites, or what is a favorite scenario of yours?
Actually, my character Teo's story takes place in an alternate history.
Mm,
Humanity in this universe has an alternate timeline where World War One is the only world war.
mm. And nobody got into. There wasn't any follow up that created World War II, or how did it not happen?
What happened was after World War One, the League of Nations, which was established after World War One to like try and prevent World War Two, but it failed epically.
Hmm.
America took a higher role in the League of Nations than they did in our timeline, and basically fearmongered the entire populace. This is oversimplified, but they fearmongered the entire populace into just like all joining the League of Nations and basically surrendering their independence.
Yeah, that's exactly the opposite of what Woodrow Wilson did, which is nothing. He's kind of set out there and went back home. So in this scenario, is Wilson still the president, or do things change that way?
He's more aggressive,
Mm.
as a way of putting it.
Well, doing just about anything would have been more aggressive than what he actually did. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's one of the more bizarre presidents out there, as far as I'm concerned. But and
bizarre is the word for it.
yeah, and considering that wasn't he gravely ill during a good portion of that presidency, and his wife ended up doing a lot of the stuff, which nowadays, in today's internet world, that would never get over. That would never. There would be so many people putting out articles about how the wife is actually running the government.
See, my father isn't very well versed in history, so he would always say, "This is the first time we had a prime minister
Yeah,
instead of a president."
pretty much, pretty much at that point. And so that was that one of your first alternate histories, or have you got a load of them?
It was on my first, and that's why I keep it around today. Is like Teo's, like their universe. The humans in Teo's universe have that alternate history going on, and they become like a galactic, sort of a galactic spanning empire.
Mm. Yeah. And so it's not just an alternate. Is it a future as well, or do they find something in between that allows them to be
Yeah,
galactic?
there's a future. They eventually become the League of Planets after they start colonizing worlds.
Mm, cool. And so do you refer back to that timeline a lot for your stories and different parts of the timeline?
That timeline is mainly reserved for Teo's universe.
Mm,
I do like to change the timeline a little bit more, just in just for fun stories.
yeah, yeah. You how far can you twist that timeline? And I mean, and do you have like llamas falling out of the sky or something at some point?
Sometimes I make timelines where Homo sapiens do not become the dominant, like, what do you call it, like,
The the the
there's a timeline where Neanderthals become the dominant species instead of like humans, and I
yeah.
just think it's really funny to imagine.
It reminds me of we had a game once on an old Mac toaster that I'd bought, um, computer, which was fun, but black and white and very limited. Um, and it was called Sim Earth. And you started with basically nothing, and then had to try to you know nurture life as it begins and eventually leaves the planet. And by golly, I never could get the humans to evolve. There's always like the fish or something ended up being the sentient beings. Um, so you kind of create your own alternate universe as you go. When you play a game, game. Do you look for those types of games with the alternate universe type things?
Not necessarily alternate universe. Well, I do play like games like Europa Universalis, like 4,
Mm-hmm.
and games like Crusader Kings 2 and 3. I love those games.
Yeah. Not like Civilization or something like that.
And they've become too simple for me.
Oh, you want the complex stuff.
Like I want to rebel against myself in this game. See, that's how
You're really getting into the nuts and bolts at that point.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I like to have a notepad on the side and just make my own narrative for like what's going on. Like in games like Stellaris,
Mm-hmm.
you can have political parties form like factions inside your empire,
Yeah.
and I like to. You can also have like elections if you choose like to have a democratic form of government.
Right.
I like to envision what those elections are like and like compare them to our elections.
Oh, there's plenty of stories in our elections alone.
Yeah, see, I've been trying this for a few years. I'm still trying to get something that's crazier than ours, but they're way too normal.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the only one I can think of in my lifetime. Um, there were just some local elections that were pretty nuts, or statewide elections. We had one situation in Illinois when Jim Thompson was the governor, where uh, the extremist group led by Lyndon LaRouche took over part of the political party, the Democratic Party, and managed to get their candidate in as a lieutenant governor candidate for the Democrats. So the Democratic nominee ended up running in a different party, Solidarity Party or something along those lines. It was one bizarre election, and people didn't know who to vote for by the time it was all over with.
Oh goodness.
So yeah, you can really find even some of the presidential ones where somebody gets basically elected president that didn't want to be president, that sort of thing. Um, in the back alley deals, back in the 1800s were really back alley deals.
Oh yeah.
If you the presidential election wasn't definitely wasn't necessarily who won the most votes out here. It was who won the most votes in there in a lot of the things.
I kind of miss how the U.S. used to do elections, where the person who got the second most votes was the vice president.
Can you imagine that?
Can you imagine, like, if it went like that today, we're like they're just like, okay, fine, we're going back to how it used to be, and Kamala Harris was the vice president and Donald Trump was the current president. It would seem like the most unstable marriage going on in the White House.
Yeah, it would be. There would be a lot more people who would be so frustrated as either president or vice president. We'd have a government working against itself even more than we do normally. Or alternatively, if we'd have done it years before, maybe we don't even end up with that situation. I don't know. Things change up so much, in the butterfly effect, which I think is a big concept for those folks who are into alternate history, where one event changes everything. Is that what you like when you could take like one event and kind of tweak it a little bit to cause some different things to happen?
Yeah, I love that. That's kind of where Teo's we call it the Teoverse, but their version of humanity, the butterfly effect, is crazy.
Yeah. So, if without spoiling anything, can you tell us a little bit about what is the thing that changes it into Teo's world?
Basically, the humans after World War One, they fearmonger the entire populace, and they make World War One seem a lot worse than it actually was. Which even in our universe, it was pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
But they eventually lied to the populace, saying that over half the human population was killed in that war.
Mm.
and
Well,
they're forced to believe it, or else they'll be marked as a warmonger and they'll be like ostracized from society.
oh, and that changes the whole thing, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And as they get into space and they meet aliens, well, the aliens aren't really compatible with humans, so they will make them compatible without, getting into something nothing too dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, they will make them compatible to humans. The that concept is pretty. I mean, it's almost like a totalitarian type of situation. Is it along those lines?
Yeah, like humanity basically will put these they'll separate the populace, these aliens,
Hmm.
into adults and children, and they will indoctrinate the kids and keep the adults in camps for the rest of their lives. And just it's really sick, but
Yeah.
it's meant to be sick so that the Teo character can kind of rally against that.
Oh, yeah. That is it. Kind of hits home some areas there. And it's unfortunately believable. And I think that's the best part of the alternative history things is where you make it just believable enough where it could have happened, and you're not just creating some oh, then a magical portal opens up and something happens. You make it to where it's believable enough to haunt you a little bit.
Oh yeah, the whole point behind the League of Nations, slash League of Planets, is that fear is a very powerful weapon.
Mm, mm. So did World War One turn out uh, to have a different ending in Teo's world?
No, World War One ends the exact same.
Mm,
It's just that the aftermath is a lot different.
mm. So you still have the governments in place trying to basically. I know one of the first things they tried to do is spread out the power among the bad guy nations, so to speak, and try to make sure that they weren't powerful enough to try it again, which everyone knows in our timeline how well that worked. Um, is that the same type of resolution you have?
Basically, yes, but then America comes in as like, hey, we're gonna occupy the entirety of Germany,
Mm. Well, that
and
certainly
they
does
kind
change
of
things.
just siphon the economy from Germany for a while,
Yeah.
and then they're just like, okay, we're gonna occupy these guys as well because they also had a part in it, and it just keeps stacking until like no one can really stand up to America.
Hmm.
They eventually control the entire planet through like fear.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do it at that time, does the nuclear option eventually come up?
Yes, and I don't want to spoil what country gets erased, but a country does get erased.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, are you going to do? I know you do stories with this. Do you have them anywhere where folks can watch them?
At the moment, no.
Mm. Are there plans for that?
There are plans for a comic series.
Ah, excellent, excellent. That's a good place to put it, I think, and you can have it episodic and you kind of while you can have the outline for it, you can still have enough wiggle room to change it if you want to on the fly. There, um, sounds pretty. So with the comic series, are you going to do the drawing, or have you got somebody else for it, or has that even started
I,
work yet?
I have an idea of who I'm going to be commissioning to do the comic stuff,
Mm.
but I'm still wanting to get the story written as well as I can write it
Mm.
before I start on a comic series.
So how do you do that? I mean, people have stories bouncing through their head. I do. I have a few of them, but I can't seem to get my stupid hands to type it into the machine. How do you overcome that, or is it easy for you?
It's easy for me because I keep several copies of it, so I'm like, hey, hello, new friend. Do you want to read something that's very, very long and hard to understand? Good.
Do you want to read something that you probably don't understand? Call 1-800.
I am known in the VTuber community for being the yapping person. I will yap to anyone about anything. I have an entire lore document that's almost 3,000 words right now.
Hey, that's. I mean, you're obviously a creative guy. I mean, that's what you do. You're a creative person. Um, have you always been this creative?
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I my only outlet was my notebook.
Mm. And how many notebooks did you keep?
Enough to the point where whenever I moved, I wasn't allowed to take them with me. We only had one vehicle.
So somewhere the lost stories are out there.
Somewhere, yeah. I would draw a lot too as a kid.
Oh wow! So do you do your own art for some of these things?
I can't draw very well because my hands they shake a lot because of my epilepsy.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's stuff. I can't draw because I have no talent. Is it? So it's kind of a catch-22 there. I just my talent is, if I have any art talent at all, it's in the thumbnails. That's it. That's pretty much it as far as it goes, and that's kind of questionable sometimes. So with that, have you tried the um, digital art?
Yeah, actually, I have a tablet that's around like what 30 something inches,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I've tried art, but my hands are a little bit shaky. I'm trying to get used to it,
Mm. Yeah,
but nothing substantial yet.
yeah. Well, the great thing about that is it has the undo button, so whatever you do, if you mess up, just undo and start over again. Um, Not so easy to do if you're actually drawing it on paper. And undo means start all over again with a lot of that stuff. Does So with your creativity and obviously the outlets that you've chosen for it, um, when did you get to the point where you were confident enough to show other people?
It all started with me being a VTuber around 3 years ago.
Hmm.
The first character that I had, his name was Abbott, and he was basically a cyborg
Yeah.
that was basically a human and an AI fused together in terms of their brains.
Ah, yeah. That would be interesting to write for. Um, Again, did you have the lore behind it and how it came about?
Oh yeah, and he's even gotten a rewrite recently.
Update. What do you got? The retcon.
Oh yeah, and he's been retconned into being Teo's rival in the story,
Ah, so
and yeah, he's getting a whole redesign. I'm so excited.
cool. Absolutely cool. So, why did you choose VTubing, and what got you involved in that?
Well, I am in love with my stories, so you're telling me I can play my own character and like have them on screen? Yes, sign me up.
It wasn't even a choice for you at that point. It's like, yes, this is perfect for me.
Yeah, I watched Shy Lily
Yeah.
for like maybe a few weeks, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do this, and then I just never watched her again. No disrespect to Shy Lily, like they're very talented. I was way too focused on VTubing at that point. I never watched them again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, their content is a lot different than yours would be at this point. But the if you got talking about business sense, they're right up there business sense wise. Um, have you been able to expand the way you'd like as far as VTubing goes?
I don't know if I want to expand at all, really.
Oh, oh, so you don't want suddenly you know grow by 100% overnight or anything like that.
I mean, I've grown a lot recently, but I haven't really meant to. Like,
Mm.
I haven't posted with the intent of growing. I've just been like putting my thoughts out there.
Mm. Well, that's about as organic as it gets, and that says a lot about what you're putting out there. That people are kind of word of mouth spreading what you're doing and enjoying it once they get there.
Like I've had friends who have like okay, so I have like 12K on Twitter. I didn't realize that until a friend of mine who has like 3K was like, "Dude, you're a lot bigger than me. People are gonna think that I'm mooching off of you." I'm like, "Wait, I have how much?" Like they had to remind me.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's funny. I mean, and you get to the point you don't even know how many people are on there, and you do kind of have to work a little bit to find out. But to realize that you do have that much reach, um, was it? Uh, how did you react to that? I mean, was it a little bit intimidating?
It's humbling for me, at least.
Mm.
It's just like, okay, I have this big platform. I should work harder so that I can deserve this platform.
Well, I mean, you kind of deserve it by doing what you're doing in the first place, because um, if you're not out there seeking an audience and an audience finds you, you must be doing something right.
Must be. But
Yeah.
my point of view is that you never get complacent because that's whenever you start to fall.
Mm. Well, if you're a storyteller, you always have to weave something, and old stories become old stories if you don't at least embellish them. Um, my my grandfather was a tall tales guy, and he regaled us of all sorts of things. And I've told my own grandsons a few tall tales, but I've taken his stories and brought them up to date or something along those lines. Um, Storytelling is something that can still be useful in today's society, um, and it does reflect the person telling it quite a bit, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree, and I've been reacting to the growth by expanding Teo's story. Like, there's so much that I haven't shown yet
Mm.
that is planned for this character.
Mm. So with all of this, and with the comic stuff coming out, have you thought of making it into some sort of a game?
Yes, actually, the person that I'm talking to that's making it into that I'm talking about making it into a comic with, they're actually wanting to make a game that's not based in Teo's universe, but has the Tigrin, which is what Teo is,
Hmm.
as a playable character.
Ah, neat, neat. Hey, well, you get some credit for that anyway.
Indeed, and I was a game dev before I was a VTuber,
Oh,
so
you were. Oh my gosh, I bet that was something else. Um, how did you? Were you a small company or part of a larger company?
I don't know what the professional term is for. Oh, I'm gonna try this out, and if I like it, I like it.
Well, it's probably smart in that industry. Because if you go all out and the industry takes a turn down a little bit, then where are you going to go? Um, Unfortunately, a lot of animators are going through that now, with AI taking over. What are your feelings about AI and storytelling?
AI has been nothing but disappointing for me.
Mm,
Like I grew up with sci-fi stuff,
yeah.
and like it's so disappointing. Like I want AI that like can appear on my hand and like solve all these medical problems, but no, we're just using it to make. I'm not going to be vulgar here. We're using it to make just stuff that's not really useful.
Yeah. Yeah,
We're
that's true.
we're using it to make stuff that's we're just going to forget about because there's no work put into it.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. And using it instead of it being a tool, they're using it as the be all end all, which is, it's like, you take all your ingredients and stuff it into the Cuisinart, and whatever comes out, you're going to take without putting your own input into it. I mean, you could do things that way, or you can put a little humanity into it. Um, storytelling, storytelling by an AI is sometimes funny to read because they're all over the place, but I wouldn't make a book out of it. Um,
Yeah, one reason why I'm not for like banning AI in like human creativity is so that we can actually have a comparison at all times,
yeah.
and so that the consumers can make a choice.
yeah, yeah, and it's. I just wonder sometimes if we'd have, if well, not we, of course, because I don't have any AI on me that I know about, but if they'd have started using it as a tool rather than the entire creative device. I mean, as a tool for ideas or to crunch some things up in a different way, or um, but when I go on YouTube and hear an AI voice doing a commercial, first of all, I think you couldn't pay somebody, $5 to do this because we're cheap. Announcers are very cheap. Um, and secondly, it just sounds so bad. Like you put no effort into it. How do you think AI should have been implemented?
I feel like AI should have been first and foremost an assistant,
Mm.
not the be all end all. Like if I'm going to an AI, like, hey, here's a synopsis for a story. Is there anything incorrect about this? Like, is there anything that just doesn't make sense? Could you read over this real quick and proofread all that stuff? But having it take over the entire creative process is just lazy.
Mm. It is, and the best you're going to get out of it is lucky mediocre. I think something that's just good enough to pass it. You you get up there where it's if you get something positive out of it, it's because it took that from something else. Um, there's nothing original about anything that comes out of AI if you just press the button and say go.
Yeah, exactly. My grandfather has a saying. It's called if it's just good enough to pass, then it just won't last.
Yeah, that's true. we we've done that in the auto industry before, and you're not old enough to remember, but a lot of the cars that were produced in the 1980s um, were basically plastic and were meant to. It's called planned obsolescence, where a car would basically fall apart after 4 years, so you have to buy another car. Um, they would just drastically fail after you paid it off. And that's conveniently when the warranty would expire.
Oh boy, that sounds similar to what they're doing with iPhones nowadays.
Oh yeah, yeah, and of course nowadays, I mean, a good car will actually last you. A good new car will last you a while, but and a pickup truck will last you for the rest of your life. If I've seen people sell pickup trucks with 300,000 miles on it, and it looks clean as new, as far as that goes. But the the whole planned obsolescence thing was a marketing trick. Do you think that people are going to be using AI as a more of a marketing trick in the short term?
I feel like it's not going to last because you have independent creators rising up, even like more so than usual.
Hmm.
Independent creators are rising up. They're getting, you have these independent game developers even that are rising and making more money than AAA studios.
Yeah, yeah.
And I believe that signals a drastic shift in what the consumer is going for because there's no longer a gap in like advertising
Hmm.
because many of these games don't have any advertising, if very little, and they're still out competing these AAA games. So the market is a lot more fair if you're an indie creator versus these studios.
Yeah, yeah. And you guys, the VTubers, play a part in that. I mean, the VTubers, the Let's Play folks, they're still around. You give a lot of these smaller groups the advertising they don't have to pay for. Um, and that's you know that's gold right there. And some of these independent folks have realized that and feed into VTube, where you've got giant companies that start with N that puts all sorts of restrictions on what they can have put online, which is counterintuitive to how the whole system works. Um, Plus, the independents don't have a corporation to run things by a bunch of stockholders. And
Yeah, one prime example of a game that does not need does not need advertising is what I mentioned earlier, a game called RimWorld.
Mm-hmm.
It's a storytelling generator game where you have a colony of these randomly generated people.
Yep.
And you basically give them tasks to do, and you're building a colony, you're trying to survive, and then eventually build a ship and get off the planet because you crash land there.
Mm-hmm.
No one has ever seen a commercial for this game.
Nope.
It's all been from creators.
Yeah, and I don't have it myself, but it looks fun. It also looks really frustrating.
Tell me about
I think that's one of the reasons why I've kind of avoided it, because if I want frustrating, I'll just go to work. But it's unforgiving in a lot of aspects, and you could have something set up, and then suddenly somebody comes in and kills you. And that's it.
Yeah, either it's a person or it's a very angry turtle.
Yes. No, turtle. I've been nice to you.
Hello, mine turtle.
Hello, my turtle. I was just watching Tom Scott last night. Got caught another Tom Scott hole, and was watching everything that I could remember from him. He has a new Asdef movie out, which people should watch. It comes out once every decade or so now. after he hit.
Hey, I'd rather wait a decade for greatness than wait a year for mediocrity.
Oh, absolutely, and good on him for coming out with the game and doing so well. That I think has been big for him. Do you, as a creator, and I'm kind of thinking of Tom Scott along this too, do you, as a creator, now get satisfaction by what you put out, and are you more selective now that you're a bit older?
If anything, I think I'm less selective and I'm more careful.
Mm.
I feel like those are like two different words for me.
Yeah, they
Like
are.
careful is that I will make a lot of things and I will just choose something that I think is something that will last me. I'm not gonna choose like the biggest, most like fiery story. I'm gonna choose one that I think I can build upon even more than the other ones.
Mm. And so you'll come up with some ideas, play around with them a little bit, and then if something floats to the surface, you keep it.
Yeah. Like, hey, can I expand this more than the other ones? Like, hey, if this gets popular, can I turn it into a series without like making it bad by expanding it?
Mm. So do you publish these things anywhere?
I plan to, actually. I had planned to use RimWorld as a way of telling my stories, because I have actually commissioned mods for the game that add Teao in as a character.
Excellent. Yeah, that's cool. So you be able to play as a Teao. That's really neat.
Yeah, and add the Tigran, which is Teo's race, in general as something.
Mm. So when you add them in, can they be against you when you land, or are they easy to get along with?
Well, you configure the world before you start the game, and I have modded in a Tigran tribe faction.
So then that's just not like here's a bunch of Tigran over here. You got to come up with a whole background and story for it, don't you?
Oh, I don't have to. You don't have to technically, but I have to because I will drive myself crazy if I don't.
This is not what they're supposed to be at all.
I was like, no, this does not follow my predetermined language that I made for these people.
So were you ever at a point where you didn't want to share what you were doing?
For a while, yes, because I wasn't satisfied with it. Like, I'm like, hey, my guys, they deserve better than this, so I'm going to keep working on it. I will skip stream if I have to. I'm going to keep working on this until I'm satisfied with it. Yeah. I feel like I'm my own worst enemy sometimes.
Well, I mean, is it that, or is it artistry? Because so many artists that I've talked to, they just will not accept that something is done. They want to go back and tweak it a little bit. They want to, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. is it more of that for you, or is it an issue of you just can't get enough of writing it?
I get such a rush from making things that
Mm,
I feel like I'm just expanding it infinitely.
mm. I mean, that's a great thing to have because um, you've already taken it to the next level by putting it out there for other people to see, um, and it doesn't stifle your growth either. You can you break out of that shell, and it's pretty liberating.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like for me, I have hundreds of stories that aren't even like related to Teo that I've made, and
Mm,
hundreds of concepts that I've made. Like I have a concept for a story where it's humanity living on a rogue planet, which is a planet that is not in orbit of any sun,
yeah.
but the planet is covered in nuclear reactors on the surface, and they just live underground.
Well, I mean, it sounds horrific, but it also sounds, it sounds feasible, doable. And it's extreme, but maybe in some alternate universe, something like that's happened, or in a universe we don't know about.
I did all of the calculations, and it is actually possible.
Yeah, yeah. It's that does remind me of the sim world stuff because one of the things was you could terraform Mars as part of this, and you remember this is early computing, so um, the graphics are not really great. So it's more about the actual story. So basically, what you do is put oxygen scrubbers all over the planet. There you go. Now you've got oxygen. Go from there. You, you can take a meteorite, an ice meteorite, and slam it into the planet. There you go, water.
Oh goodness.
We got oxygen and
It's
water.
so funny you mentioned that because in my last stream, I terraformed Venus and Mars.
Oh yeah. So did you do that? Did you just kind of like add add water from a meteor or something?
No, I added carbon dioxide. I would remove certain things from the atmosphere that was causing it to like retain a lot of cold,
Mm-hmm.
like silicate, which would reflect a lot of the sunlight.
Right.
I would remove that. I would add carbon dioxide to maybe help it retain more heat. But a lot of the problem is that it doesn't retain any of the gases that you add to either of the planets because eventually it'll all just wither away because it just doesn't keep it.
Yeah. It doesn't generate it on its own. Is the thing, and it's like well, compared to being rated by somebody in VTubing, where you get suddenly 100 people, and then they all just kind of go back to where they were, and you're back down to the number you had before. There's not
Yeah.
you're not maintaining that sort of thing. I used to do that and then put nuclear reactors on and then put dinosaurs on
Oh goodness.
it. Dinosaurs on Mars. That's how. And dinosaurs and people and see how that went.
God, you're giving me like a false memory because I think I remember Zoo Tycoon having a Mars map,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that never happened. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna see if I'm giving myself a false memory.
I'm glad I could help you with your false memory. I'll have an effect on people one way or another.
No, there was no Mars map. Okay, it was a false memory.
Yeah, that's now you'll have to come up with somebody will have to come up with a mod to do that because that actually
Yeah.
sounds like a lot of fun when you think about it. So, what is next up for you and your channel? Have you got big plans for something coming up soon?
Big plans. I have started a VTuber group called Immortals, which is a group that is in Teo's lore.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a group of peacekeepers that the League of Nations, they're like a galactic empire. Well,
Right.
they suddenly disappeared.
Oh,
They're
okay.
gone, and the planets that remained are in chaos. Like all their authority is gone. Think of it like if the internet globally shut down.
Mm,
Just
yes.
there's no reason it just all shuts down, and like everyone's just kind of lost. They don't know what to do.
They, we would definitely be lost. I know I would. So much economy would be gone. That's one of the biggest things. Uh,
Oh yeah.
you wouldn't be able to. so many people don't have actual money. They have whatever's on their cards, and now there's no way to access that, or there's nothing to access because the internet is down.
Yeah, well, with the league disappearing, it's kind of comparable to if both the internet and the power went out globally.
Yeah, how's your Bitcoin doing now?
Yes, a lot of the planets became stranded because some of them relied on food imports. Because they were mining planets, they were like global factories, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And the Immortals were kind of going planet to planet, kind of just like sending down these like mutant soldiers to try and keep the peace.
It's hard to keep the peace when there ain't no food.
Exactly, like they would provide aid as well, like,
Yeah.
obviously.
That's cool. So the Immortals are going to be a group of VTubers.
Yeah, and we're right now we're planning content for like every Friday at the moment.
Cool. Is that going to be on all of the channels? Everybody on there, or just
I
one
believe
channel?
so. I believe so. We're planning a podcast at the moment.
Well, good. Well, stay tuned to this space. I'm going to put all the links to Teo's stuff on the description for this video, and keep an eye out for this creative person's stuff, because by golly, I mean, you're just a fountain of these things. Do you ever look back on some of these things that you've created and go, what was I thinking?
That's what the rewrites are for.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised sometimes by what you've done in the past? Maybe that you've forgotten about.
Oh God, there's a lot of cringy things that I did in the past that like I thought was cool, but no, I'm like, wait, that was so cringy, and that's what the rewrites are for.
Yeah, well, the Care Bear universe was a little much. I don't think we need the Care Bear universe at this point.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, but it really, I'm glad that you've got this outlet, because people get to enjoy your creativity, and you get to enjoy creating. That's a win-win.
Oh yeah, I love this so much, and the best part is, in my position, I can live without focusing on making money, which is a privilege that not a lot of people in this sphere have.
Yeah, on this sphere, on this world sphere, and not many people have that.
Yeah, I basically I can pay my own bills without like VTubing.
Yeah.
So I can focus entirely on my creative stuff.
Well, folks, I don't know if you're going to find anybody more creative than Teao. We'll keep an eye on you and your basically legion that's forming, and we'll get the links in that description, and we'll keep following you, and hopefully we'll get you back on soon. Maybe we'll get your group on together and have a kind of a special with them, if that sounds okay. Oh boy, I heard that. Oh boy,
I'm very selective with who I chose. You're gonna love them.
Thanks so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure talking with someone with this much ability and so much to give. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.